Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Premier League debate show. The weekend is around the corner. The Premier League is around the corner. And you know what, man? I kind of miss it. I can't lie to you. I've had a bit of withdrawal lately. The past 2 days has got me. Even though I enjoyed it at first, but now I'm like, yeah.
Wait
Bring
till
it
10
back
o'clock
now.
on Saturday. Wait till 10 o'clock on Saturday.
Well,
then let's
wait,
see if
yeah,
you've
there
missed
you
it.
go. There you go, mate. Wait till 10 o'clock on Saturday, mate. But listen, people, big up to everybody here. We're here, Premier League debate show. I was gonna say 150. I don't know why I said that. Maybe
I know why you said that.
Is putting it out there. Daps, why are you suited? Have you just come back from court case?
Oh,
Man City defending.
listen, it's looking good, bro. It's looking good.
He was dressed like that on my stream the other night as well. The cases must be going up. Is there any more charges?
No, listen. 115 charges is a long court case, yeah. But listen, we had a debrief at the end of the day today, me and Khaldun, yeah, and it's going very well. It's going very well. Listen, I don't know, I reckon we've beat about 100 of them. 15 more to go, and then we're good.
If I
He's
saw
the big
Daps
ones.
if I saw Daps as my solicitor, bro, I'm like, you know what? Just send me down, bro. Send me down. Yeah.
I was saying to Hamed the other day, I don't think I've ever beat a case, to be fair. So,
Agent Proctor, man. I'm telling you,
just
Agent Proctor. But Daps,
give me the easy thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, Daps, how are you, man? How are you, man?
Good.
What's happening? Yeah,
good looking for same as you, bro. Bored of international break. Do you know what I will say though? It was nice. Wednesday's performance was nice. It was actually. Do you know what? First time I watched England for a while and thought, yeah, you know what? We looked all right. I mean, predominantly, Jude Bellingham looked all right, but we looked all right, innit? He's English. Declan Rice looked all right as well. So now we've got one more to see out before Christmas. Unfortunately, one more international break, but just back to Premier League football. And who are the algorithm gods going to take this weekend? Because someone needs to take an L. Someone needs to take it for the team to get those algorithms kicking. And I don't know, it could be any of us. And last time I said it's not going to be me, it was me. So I'm not going to say it this time, but someone needs to take one for the team.
We'll see. Could be
Probably
the early
you, probably you,
Merseyside derby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be you, man. Merseyside derby, early kickoff. James, man, it's been a pleasure to see you again. It feels like I've seen you every day this week, but big up my guy, man.
Going on, my G. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will reign supreme. I don't know if it might even be doing a Bandulu right now, but listen, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm going. And the Premier League's against us. You know, Daps probably thinks the Premier League's against him. We're the ones doing frigging double the 12:30 kickoffs than all your asses. So how about you all be buzzing with the fact that the Premier League's on your side this season and it's against us? There's a Liverpool against it and it's smelling like shit. But smash a like, subscribe, and all that other.
Yeah,
well, it's Everton though, man. It's Everton.
They are shit.
Doesn't matter. We've got you as well on the next international break.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's never good when you have us at 12:30. I went. That's never a good look. And at the Etihad, innit?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Last time it was 4-1 at the Etihad, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. So
I ain't gonna lie. It doesn't matter what time you would have still lost. So I feel like you should just take the L and keep it moving. To be honest.
You talking to me?
We'll see.
Listen, listen. I'm talking to the club that always cry. You know the club that is crying.
Wow.
Wait there, boys. So is he talking to himself? Because I swear I see Gooner in his name.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I've seen your manager crying. I'll be honest. Your manager crying more than life itself. But you know,
Lee, I've not watched your content, brother, but you seem like proper energetic. We actually should do some work. You're cool, bro. Your fans are the biggest bitches. I'm not even gonna lie.
You know what? They might be, but your manager's circumference of the amount of times that he's crying.
What about Lego Ed Dembrowski? Now wait there. What about Lego Ed Dembrowski? You sure that he ain't being crying?
You know what? Your manager has walked, so my manager can run. Sorry, so you know that's what it is.
With two community shields. With two community shields.
No, I'm saying the way that my manager might moan is the way that because your manager's led for all of us to allow us. He's opened the door. So everybody else can just walk through. So I'll talk to you.
talk to your left back as well, broski. He's crying every 2 minutes as well. So
listen,
if you want to be
the last time I heard your own player Van Dijk was moaning about the lack of players, and then that's why I heard a couple midfielders coming in. So we can go tit for tat, we can go bullshit however we like.
Hey Gunnar Lee, as you said, Zinny walks or my Van Dijk could run. How about that?
There you go.
Hey, big up to Charlie as well, man. He's got the Chelsea 2010-11 shirt, is it? I think it is.
Nah, mate, it's 14-15. It's got Fabregas on the back on it. So,
bro,
we'll be wearing that down to the bridge on Saturday. Our legend on the back, mate. It is Premier League titles at the bridge. Mate, I'm good.
I was at that game, actually,
Yeah. Glad the Premier League back, mate. Big game against Arsenal. Mate, should be an easy win the way they've been going on. I'm seeing a load of fans going on, combined 11s with one Chelsea player in all this and all that. Should be an easy win for them Saturday. So, we'll see what happens.
The 14-15 was the Fabregas was the one. It was all Arsenal because I was there with my mate. It was all Arsenal. And then Fabregas, one pass over to Costa, 1-0. 1-0. Yeah.
That was the year we won the league,
Yeah, there you go. Man, like Gunnar Lee's in the building as well. Gunnar Lee, what are you saying, man? You're looking forward to the weekend as well?
Listen, I'm all good. I was good until I heard that's, a certain Charlie next to me is trying to buy our legends and stuff with Fabregas on the back of his t-shirt. But, it sounds like Man City with the whole Patrick Vieira and Frank Lampard buying their other people's legends. But
now who's crying?
Listen. Right now,
you said it, not me. I just appreciate you, Zaf. You said it, not me.
Buying our legends, Jesus, Zinchenko, Arteta.
I'm doing that. I just got to keep it professional on the stage. You know what I'm saying? So. Keep it moving.
Come on. And then we've got to talk about the first topic, and that's why I've left the last for Pete. Pete, how are you, mate? You must be stressed right now. I can't lie to you. Every Newcastle fan must be stressed right now, hearing about the Tonali news. There's a lot of talk on the internet. A lot of refunds maybe been wanted. A lot of, what's going on. Tonali, man, talk to me, man. It's a situation that I think, nobody saw coming because I don't think it was kind of talked about in the news. There was no kind of background to this. Came out of the blue. But Sandro Tonali has now been banned from football for betting. Talk to me, bro. What are you saying? How's he feeling right now?
Well, we don't know officially what we're assuming that he's going to be banned, but it's not been decided. Apparently, it's going to be next week. They'll make a decision on it. But it's looking like it was going to be that way. I didn't expect it to be because in the week leading up to yesterday, there was no talks about him betting on football. But look, it's happened, and I wouldn't say there's any stress from Newcastle fans. I think we're disappointed because he was a player that we brought in. We paid 50 million for him, and we wanted him to be the difference maker. But as lots of the panel have talked about in the weeks previous, that he hasn't been the difference maker that we expected him to at this stage. So I don't think it will be a bigger miss as what it could have been. We've got Joe Willock coming back. We've got a lot of kind of other players that can come in and take the reins. And
on Calvin Phillips.
I fully expect us to improve in January. I genuinely do. But look, at the end of the day, and I said it before on the 12th man, I say it again now, is that yes, for the ban, we're disappointed, but there's a bigger problem there, and there's an addiction that he's already admitted to, and that's something that we cannot we cannot miss that, because that is a big thing. Mate, when there's an addiction there, and that's serious, and we can't discard that.
Do you think Milan knew about this before turning them to you? Do you think that's part of the reason why they might have been happy?
Well, Newcastle have already looked into this, and the reality that we seem to have at the moment is that nobody knew, not even his family knew. Like, he literally kept it to himself, and it was only when I think it was Fagioli at Juventus kind of named him and a number of others apparently. Apparently, there's as many as 40 players involved in this. So,
wow,
Tonali seems to be the only kind of the tip of the iceberg. But it was only when he was mentioned that it came out, and then he's had to go and speak to his family about it, speak to the club about it, and apparently they weren't aware at all. So that's
I bet
I think it's been a blindsider for everyone, to be honest with you.
I bet they knew.
You
See
think
what
so?
I did there?
I know
See
you
what
got. I know you
did there?
got your.
No, you see
your
what I did there?
lawyers
I'm just saying. What do you reckon the odds are? No, do you know what?
We can speculate on it. We can speculate on it. We can speculate on it. But at the end of the day, I don't think we'll ever know.
When did it start, though, Pete? When did it start the betting, though? Did it start when he was at Milan?
Yeah. You know,
it was on Milan games, wasn't it? Did he bet on Milan games?
It was on Milan games when he wasn't playing.
So a bit like Tony. Like on his team, but when he weren't playing. But not for as long as Tony. Tony did it over years. I think it's only kind of been a recent thing for him.
I will say I feel a little bit sorry for him, only in the sense of, look, like, I've never had an addiction. I don't know, so I'm not going to speak on it. So you do feel sorry for a human, like going through this, being named and shamed. But listen, football side of it, if we're talking just strictly football, bro, he needs to be banned, and that's it. Like, because as I said, I didn't see no remorse for Tony. I didn't see no remorse for what's his name, Trippier. So listen, ultimately, he's done the silly act, and that's it. Like, I think he's young enough to come back from it, and I think there could be a slight blessing in disguise. It was only last week I asked you, Pete, you know, why is he not been performing? So he might actually have a way of getting acclimatized to the team, getting acclimatized to the country, and he might come back with a vengeance. But currently, he's not lived up to the 70 million price tag. It doesn't mean he's a flop. It doesn't mean he's crap. He's just not being good enough. And that's it. So he needs to sit down for the 7 months or whatever it is that he's been, you know, adjudicated for, whatever it is that he's going to get. And hopefully he comes back a better, stronger, and a better, stronger person from it. But, you know, I don't think anybody should be taking the mick out of him, because, you know, nobody's been through that.
But you know what it is, though? Let's keep the same energy, though. I feel like Tony was vilified when he was.
No, but it doesn't matter, though. That's the point. That's the point, though. It doesn't mean that because someone else has gone through bullshit, you learn from that. Like, so I'm not sitting here saying, oh, because Tony's been, you know, he's gone through this or whatever it is, that we should do it to somebody else. You go through the situation, you're like, you know what? We're gonna do better as a community, because it's clearly a problem. It's, you know,
it is.
What's very different about this situation, like because you're right, and I completely agree. The way that Ivan Toney was treated when his betting ban and all the rest of it came through, even with England, they kind of just discarded him right before the World Cup when he probably could have got into the squad. The way they dealt with it and the media have been completely wrong. What I really like about this, and remember, he's not an English player; he's an Italian player, is that the Italian Federation came out straight away and backed their players. They said, you know, we're not going to just discard these players. We're going to look after them. They're young lads, they're young boys. They've made a mistake, but we're going to back them, and we need to support our players. We can't just leave them and let them kind of just get hit by the media and all the rest of it. They came out and said that straight away. That's what our country doesn't do. Our country doesn't back its players. If anything, it throws them to the wolves and the media tear them apart. And that's the difference between what we do in this country and what happened with Tony compared to what's happened with Tonali. Tonali's getting all the support he needs from the Italian Federation. He's getting that support. In Newcastle, we've already got a program set up for him with regards to his addiction. That's before even anything's been released. That's been in a matter of days. We've already put that in place, working with the Italian Federation, with the prosecutors. That's what this country don't do. Now, how long did it take Tony to be convicted in his ban?
A while.
Yeah. He was still playing for like half a season before.
He played for the whole season, minus the last 3 games.
That's what I mean. Obviously, the World Cup dropped it, but he played for that other half of the season after the World Cup, and then got banned. Like,
which makes it worse. It makes it worse because you had what, a month to fucking get this shit sorted, and all that time you kept playing. And then, I mean, I'm going to look at it from an Arsenal point of view. the game that he played against us, really and truly, he shouldn't have played against us. And then we dropped 2 points because it was an offside goal that he scored. So yeah, if I'm going to do the whole moaning thing,
Does that sound like crying? Wait there. Nah, Lee, you cannot say I'm a crier, then I dust you for 2 minutes.
I'm just saying,
and you cry.
You drop yourself in that.
I'm just saying. Look, like at least now,
No, wait there.
he
Are we just gonna let him scoot out of this? Like
No, we're not.
seriously?
Yeah. He does this all the time.
Listen,
James, he does this all the time, man. And
Hold on. If I get into your manager and what he wanted to do, your manager wanted to do something unprecedented, which has never been done. Yeah, look, the internet has got to you. That's why good. Your manager wanted to do something unprecedented and get a game replayed for fucking no reason, basically. It wasn't Spurs' fault. So basically, when we get to the nuts and cranny of it, your manager's trying to do some BS shit around here. So let's keep it factual here. Let's keep it factual, man. Come on, James Redmond. Come on.
Just going back to Tonali, just really quickly. Like obviously, we're gutted as a fan base because we're going to lose him. We wanted to see him grow and develop, but we said on our show last night on Loaded Mag, what Lee's just said is exactly right. This could be a blessing in terms of he can acclimatize to the city, the community. I honestly think he'll come back and be fluent in English, so he'll be able to communicate, and he'll be hungry. And for me personally, what I want from him, I want him to extend his contract as soon as he's back playing. I want him to show the commitment to Newcastle United that we've already shown and will continue to show to him during whatever period of time that he's banned. That's what I want from him.
Will he still be able to train with the team? Because obviously they didn't let Tony train with the team. Will he be allowed to go into the training ground and that?
Yeah, so to Tony, I can't remember what month he was banned in, but then he was allowed to start training in September, at the end of September, so he can now train in January. So I would assume if Tonali's ban's in place by next week, he might be banned from doing any form of training until maybe like January, Feb, and then he can train with the team up until whenever.
I find it mad, like that sort of like football in prison, that you're banned from the fucking training ground. Like it's mad.
Hold on, Sancho's not allowed to eat in the canteen, bro, and he's done nothing wrong.
It's honestly, people are moving mad. Like canteen.
I don't agree that he can't train with his teammates. I don't agree with that. I think it's crazy.
It's mad. It's madness.
For me, footballers have to have more responsibility, man. You get me? Like I remember Kyle Walker, you know what I mean, chilling in that bar with the missus and that, and people are recording him and what. It's footballers now have
whoa, hold on, bro. Let's get it right. That wasn't his missus.
That was another girl, mate.
That was another girl.
That was his girl.
That wasn't his missus. No. That wasn't his missus. Bro, his missus was at home. Hold on, this is Kyle Walker we're talking about. We don't even have to.
Wasn't he having sex parties in lockdown?
Bro. Kyle Walker's windmilling on Deansgate and that. Kyle Walker does what he wants, okay? Kyle Walker doesn't need defending. He'll defend himself. But do you know what I would say with Newcastle, where Newcastle have dodged a bullet, is the fact they haven't won anything yet. You know what, Pete? You have got, if you lot had won something, do you know the amount of criticism your club would get instantly? The minute,
What do you mean? Like,
what happened? Look, this is, bro, if Kyle Walker,
just having a little cry now,
if I'm having a little cry now,
is that what
I'm having a little cry now? That ultimately, listen, if Kyle Walker cheated on his missus, then somehow Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans would find a way to say that City only won the league because Kyle Walker cheated on his missus, right? That's the truth of it. But
you're going far there.
No, I'm telling you, Pete, this one's fine for you, like a couple of years' time, once you have a trophy or two, all of a sudden, anything like this, the media will grab hold of and run with. So get ready for it.
I think it's down to I think it's because of what player it is. Like Lee, you talked about it the other week of him not performing at the level. And I said to you in kind of argument to that I think he'll get there. He'll grow and develop. But if it was, and I said this yesterday, if it was Sven Botman, if it was Bruno Guimaraes, if it was Isak, I think we probably would get the type of stick that you're talking about. But because Sandro's been on the kind of peripheries of things, he hasn't been a main star this season, one of the players that have been the catalyst of his.
He's your franchise player, though.
There's probably another reason as well, to be fair.
We expect him to be because of what he came for, and when we signed him in the summer, but he hasn't been that player. Bruno Guimaraes is a level or two above him. in terms of his ability and what he's produced this season. I think if he was playing on Bruno levels, if he was playing on Isak levels or Botman levels this season, I think it probably would have been a meltdown. I think other clubs would have probably hammered us even more. But because he hasn't played as well or the amount of football that some of those boys have played, I think maybe that's right. Maybe we might have not got the amount.
Do you think
that? One second.
Sorry, go on.
I'm just going to read his super chat quickly here. Big up to Zamia says, Tony will be fine. He's joining Arsenal, will lead us to the league and Champions League, and we currently are the best team in Europe. I mean,
wow. Imagine that. The best team in Europe. Mad.
First time in Europe as well.
Ivan Toney, who's never won a Champions League, is going to go to Arsenal, who also have never won a Champions League, and together they're going to be the match made in heaven that's going to take the best team in Europe to win the Champions League. Absolutely. Completely agree.
Yeah, and make sure you like the video, people. There's nearly 800 in here. Big up to Premsy as well, man. Love for tuning in, man. But yeah, make sure you like the video. Nearly 800 in here. But Charlie, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to quickly say to Pete, mate, do you think like his slow start, not only obviously new country, new city adapting that, but do you think with a gambling thing hanging over him, do you think that might have affected his performances as well? I mean, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's a definite, but surely it must be a factor.
I would have probably said yes, but he was gambling while he didn't gamble whilst at Newcastle. It was only at AC Milan, and whilst he was gambling at AC Milan, he was putting in.
He's doing all right, wasn't he?
So I don't think it was that hanging over him was the reason. I think that from what I'm hearing hearing from people that are reported on Newcastle that are quite close to some of these things. I think it very much sounds like it was a shock to everyone, including Sandro.
Do we know if he won or lost his bets? Maybe he lost so many. That's why he needed to move to Newcastle. He needed the goal.
Training at the moment. They were training. He was training for Italy and then pulled out of training.
Yeah, I heard.
It was a shock to everybody. Nobody expected it.
Wow.
That's why they were both sent home. Him and the player that's at Villa.
What I will say about Newcastle, there's no excuse for Newcastle to fall off. I don't want to hear, because Tonali's not playing, or this is overshadowing the team. I don't want to hear any crying about that because he ain't been playing well anyway. You need to keep playing how you're playing, keep winning the games you're winning. There's no excuse for you not to make the Champions League now. That's not an excuse because you won. You drew your first game against AC Milan. You beat PSG. So theoretically, you only need to really win the next 2 games or win 2 games, and you're through. Because all the other teams should beat each other, and obviously PSG, hopefully they'll step up. So for me, there's no excuse for Newcastle to not do what they need to do. There's no excuse for Newcastle to not make the Champions League the next round, because ultimately you've got a player that hasn't really been exciting for you anyway, and you've got more than enough. So I don't want to hear any excuses about Newcastle.
Well, we got Joe Willock coming back.
Sorry, mate, do you think you're going to sign a midfielder in January, even if it's a loan, with him being out for a year potentially?
110%.
Yeah,
we will sign. But equally, just to answer both of those points, we haven't had Joe Willock since I think it might have been the Leicester game, the back end of last season. He's had no preseason. He had another injury on the way of coming back from his injury, but he's coming back very soon. So he's almost like a like for like. So with Sandro Tonali going out, we get Joe Willock back in, and he gives us so much in our midfield. He was fantastic last season. So yeah, I agree. We've still got our midfield that got us Champions League football when Joe Willock comes back fit. So I do agree. I do agree with what Lee's saying. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think any Newcastle fan is using it or will use it as an excuse for us not competing. Like you said, we're top of the group. We've got Dortmund back to back next, home and then away. Like we should be picking up at least 3 points.
Also, you're going to get the midfield that you probably played last season well, and that was what's his name?
Willock,
the kid that you talked. Yeah,
Joe Linton.
They've
got that young kid as well. You got that young kid.
We've got Elliot Anderson.
Anderson.
No, the other one.
He's been playing
the former Arsenal player. The former
Willock.
Yeah, Joe Willock. That's what we've been saying.
Yeah. So Willock, he may be better for you this because I don't think your midfield has been balanced this season. Where I'm looking at it from my point of view, I think this might even help you guys recover that kind of form that you had last season. So I know it's bad. You're losing your best player, but also Lewis Hall might become better for it. Anderson may become better for it. So I don't think it's as all as MB for Newcastle. I still think they will still play good this season. And I still think they'll be hovering around that top 6 area, maybe top 4 if they're consistent enough. But yeah, man, I don't think it's as bad as people think, man.
No, I've said it before, Said, and I'll say it again. If this is with Tonali and without Tonali, we can navigate ourselves through to Christmas, right? And we can be, fingers crossed, through into the Champions League second phase, whether it's first or second. If we can still be anywhere within the top 8 of the Premier League, right? And I'm broadening that out in terms of our position. If we can be in the top 8 in the next round of the Champions League, I genuinely think our second half of the season, we're going to hit the ground running. I think we'll sign in January, regardless of Sandro Tonali.
Calvin Phillips.
Anyway, Calvin Phillips looks like, and to be fair, even before he said his interview after England about wanting more minutes, he's been linked with this for the past week heavily.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
That could be a deal that could be done, but we're also looking elsewhere as well. We want another centre-back, a right-sided centre-back. Tapsoba has been linked. Jean-Claire Todibo, we were linked with in the summer. He's absolute quality. Antonio Silva,
stay away, man. Stay away from him, man.
We're looking to strengthen in January, and I genuinely believe if we do that, we will be massively competitive second half of the season. And I've maintained that, and I still maintain it with or without Tonali.
We need you to get out the group stage, so it improves the coefficient. So 5th place gets Champions League. No, we need your help. We need your help.
Yeah, because United didn't help in. And the other thing is, you should be, touch wood, you should be through to the quarters or the semis of the Carabao Cup as well, Pete.
Yeah. That's easy.
We've got to go to Old Trafford.
Well, it's all right. Everyone's been going there and picking up points recently.
I know. We've not won there since the Kabay in 13-14. We've got an awful record there. However, I want Eddie Howe.
You haven't beat us since Johan Kabay. Johan Kabay was the last time you beat us. Johan Kabay when you scored 1-0.
13-14, I think it was. I want this to be the year for 2 things. I want this to be the year that we beat you at Old Trafford. I don't know what that's like.
What the hell?
What is that?
Have you got a Mac?
My birthday. I wish it was.
Have you got a Mac?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a Mac. Yeah, it's the Mac thing. Like if you put your thumb up as well. Yeah.
Go on, put your thumb up. Put your thumb up. Go on, do it.
Yeah. Patrick does
the likes. Does the likes? Yeah.
Okay. It might do it in a minute. 2 things. One, I want us to go to Old Trafford and win. It's been far too long. And 2, this will be the first time we would have finished above Man United in the Premier League, and we need to do it this season. I expect us to do it this season. I expect.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I want to move on. There's 800 people in here, and make sure you're liking the video. We want to talk about the Ballon d'Or debate and who deserves to win that Ballon d'Or, because it's one of them interesting topics, and I feel like a lot of people are kind of forgetting what Haaland's done last year and what he's achieved and what he's done. Highest goal scorer ever in the calendar year in the Premier League, right?
It is a no-brainer, but it's not Haaland. It's a no-brainer, but it's not Haaland.
Yeah, it's Haaland all day. It's a no-brainer for me on Haaland. It really is. Like, how can you, like, if you're talking about an individual season, right? Messi's won the World Cup, fantastic, but he did fuck all.
It's not just only
but here's the thing, yeah. This is where we have to understand the Ballon d'Or. Do I think Messi should have won it? No, right? Because really and truly, all Messi did was a World Cup.
Yeah.
Do I think that Haaland did it? Haaland did a treble. International, he didn't do anything. Maybe you could say it's not his fault. And he was a top goal scorer. But for me, it should be a City player. But the same way that I got my head round, I got why Rodri would get it. I got why Messi would get it. No. It should be Rodri, bro. It should be Rodri. Rodri was Manchester City's best player last season, yeah? Facts, right? Facts. Look, we've just seen 3 games without him. Yeah. Trust me, the whole of Twitter and everyone else has reminded me. Now, after Rodri scored the winning goal in the Champions League final, you can also go back to the semi-final and the quarter-final and see what he did there. He then, 4 days after, joined up with the Spanish team and captained and took them to win the Nations League. So if I'm saying as a City player, I understand why people say Haaland 100%. In my opinion, it should go Rodri, Haaland, Messi, right? But it should be Rodri picking it up. But I do get DMs don't get it, so I get it. But Rodri was better than Haaland last season.
I agree with you 110%. the fact that Messi is winning the Ballon d'Or for me, I think it makes the Ballon d'Or a joke. It makes it a joke.
How?
I don't take it seriously
popularity
anymore.
contest.
I don't take it exactly. It's more of a popularity contest now. It's not about what a player has done over the last year. That'd be funny. Yeah, great achievement. Messi winning the World Cup. He wasn't the reason why
in France. Nothing.
He was. Let's not be honest.
So let's talk about Alvarez then.
I don't want to get into the Messi conversation. I just don't think he deserved to win the Ballon d'Or.
It's a Messi conversation.
And you know what?
I don't think it is.
Rodri.
I think it's
conversation. 100%.
But then if we're doing the Messi props because Messi won a World Cup, right? Then we're not having
World Cup. This is something that you don't achieve in your life.
Let's just throw some other ones out there. You're right. It's something right. So we're going to say Haaland shouldn't have won it because he didn't do anything international. I'm saying Rodri should have won it.
No.
All right. I'm saying Rodri should have won it because of not only everything he won, and him winning stuff internationally and for club, and him being our best player, in my opinion, last season. Let's throw another name out there. If we want to go, oh no, it should solely be based on what people won. Well, there is a player that did a treble and won the World Cup, right? So let's give it to Alvarez then, because he did. And we can't say Alvarez didn't contribute in the World Cup because he was
the catalyst for the World Cup. Who was a catalyst for the World Cup?
Right, so just based on so we're basing it on being the catalyst for the World Cup, and that's
it. So he's winning. So he's winning. He's winning. He's winning.
Guided them through it.
Yeah, but bro, he's
with his team. No, he didn't, bro. No, his team sat round him and protected him and let him do what he did.
Are you saying, mate? He
sat around him and protected him.
Are you saying that Messi should get the Ballon d'Or because he performed well for a month in the whole season and did nothing for PSG?
No, but you got to realize he's never won the World Cup. He's never won the World Cup before.
That's crazy too.
He's never won the World Cup. Guys, you got to remember, they've never won the World Cup before.
No, I don't know. Alvarez, give it Alvarez then. Give it Alvarez.
But are you telling me that winning the treble is better than the World Cup?
Look, Haaland had done it all the season. Yeah, he might have not scored in the Champions League final that everyone expects.
No. But
he was the catalyst.
My thing is though,
long parts of the season.
My thing is though, like when you think about Haaland has had a unique and a great season, a fantastic, all otherworldly season. But when you think about Messi, you think about the World Cup, which we know. I said it yesterday to Daps. We're all of a certain age. We still respect the World Cup as being the pinnacle of football.
Yeah, I do.
So we have to put that. It's almost like it's the perfect debate. Arsenal fans and the treble. What's more important? What's the better trophy? The treble or winning Invincibles? It's the same thing for the World Cup. That trophy means 3-4 trophies.
All right. You're going a bit too far there.
No. What I'm trying to say is winning the World Cup. No, what I'm trying to say is winning the World Cup it's like more trophies than just 1 or 2 or 3.
I agree. I agree on that one.
For Messi to win,
what about Alvarez before?
And the way he won it, and the way that he turned up in the semi-final and in the final when he came back. And I'm just thinking about with Haaland.
Remember the Mexico game?
As amazing as he was, and remember they lost the first game. As amazing as he was the whole season, you can't look at him and think he was the most
that's true.
Because he didn't score in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Lee, I agree. That's why I said Rodri. I'm not arguing for Haaland though.
He didn't score in any of these.
I think Haaland should be there. But let me ask you a question. Because hold on. But bro, you're trying to say that. Saeed, look, Saeed, we scored a hat trick against you and 5 against Leipzig. But I'm not arguing Haaland. I'm arguing Rodri. So
the thing is though, Daps, right? We know that every single one of us, I know when I go to watch Arsenal week in and week out, if I watch them on TV, I'm paying my subscription or I'm paying my ticket to watch attackers because
I'm different. I'm different to be fair.
No. Okay,
I'm different.
More time than not, you might not because you're Man City and you've got such amazing players all over the pitch and you've got a game winner in Rodri. And even do you know what? Fair play. Casemiro scored some really clutch goals for Man United as well. So I'm not going to take that away from you. But what I'm saying to you is, we know that the forward line is where you spend your money.
So Lee, let me just debunk that whole thing. No, Lee, I know, but what we're doing here is every argument to say Messi. Listen, by the way, let me be clear. I got my head around Messi winning the Ballon d'Or in December. right?
Yeah.
I already
Well, it's
knew
always
who was
gonna be him.
winning
As
it,
soon as
yeah.
he won the World Cup, it's
But
done.
based on what you just said there,
Because
you're
you know
going,
how
yeah, but
brilliant what he did.
Lee,
Yeah.
Shut
no, because we
Please,
know
man.
it's by a magazine, it's by a fashion magazine from France, right? But let's just really look at it. We're saying, okay, so DMs can't win it, no problem. If
No, I
DMs
didn't say
can't
that.
win
I
it,
didn't say that.
no,
I didn't
no,
say
no,
that.
no.
I
But
didn't say that.
hold on, guys. If we're saying,
Well,
if
they
you lot
can't
really,
really, though.
but if listen. There is no argument to say Rodri shouldn't win it, yeah, if midfielders should win it. But I'm saying, cool, let's debunk that. Now, Lee, you just mentioned that Argentina did not win their first game, and you are correct. So what change did they make going into that second game?
Yes,
Remind
yeah,
me.
you're going to say Alvarez, but the thing is, he didn't have
He scored 4 goals. He scored 4 goals in the tournament, bro.
He didn't have this otherworldly grand scheme of a season. So yes, he won the treble.
Well, we
and the
won a
World Cup.
treble.
No, but he
Was Messi that good last season?
Him himself didn't have this amazing him personally. So yes, he
No.
won the
Yeah.
trophies.
Did
but it's almost
Messi?
like saying, like, it's okay, all right, perfect.
No, so hold on. Did Messi have an amazing season?
Hold on. If England had won the World Cup, Calvin Phillips would have been in the same predicament. But my point is that you can't.
They're
just
not
say-
comparable, Lee.
No, they're not. But what I'm trying to say to you, no, I'm not. What I'm trying to say to you, if you listen, is just because he's won 4 trophies, it doesn't mean that because he's won 4 trophies that he's guaranteed to be in it. Yes, he can have a conversation, but it doesn't mean he didn't have this. Like, he didn't score
I agree.
40 goals.
Again, by the
He didn't
way,
score
Lee, I'm not trying to argue that Alvarez should have it. I'm just every argument for Messi. I'm going, well, okay, let me put this one there. Oh no, you want to debunk that? So then we move back
one's
to another
taking
one.
away. Listen, I think it's very, very valid for Rodri to be in the conversation. I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm saying that it's the reason why it's between Haaland and Messi is because ultimately those are the game glitches, the ones that have been there. 56 goals or 52 goals in a season is unheard of. And he won the treble and he came in his first season and he's only 22 years old. So it's ridiculous.
And then Messi's just because he won the World Cup.
And he won League as well. But my point is, let's eradicate that.
So did Alvarez then.
The way he did it, it was the way he did it, where it was the first time that he won it after the Maradona.
Exactly.
Like there's so much more to it. And listen, if you take emotion out of football, we might as well just go back to lockdown.
No, but then we put the emotion in Haaland. Haaland, whose dad played for City. Haaland, who's a City fan, turned up. We couldn't win the Champions League. He wrapped up and
the reason why he won't win it, I'm telling you now, is because he didn't score in the quarterfinals. He didn't. He went on a barren run at the end of the Premier League. He didn't score in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. He didn't score in the semi-finals of Champions League. You didn't score in the final of the Champions League. You didn't score in the final of the FA Cup. So for if the optics looks like he's basically a giant killer for the smaller team, that's what we know that's what it is.
Stop
He scored against Arsenal.
It definitely is. His 5 goals against Leipzig did nothing for us. Nothing.
Yes.
Can I just say, by the way?
Hold on. Wait. Sorry, my last point. So, if Haaland was there or he wasn't there, you would have still beaten them. You know what? Because every fucking season before he was there, you beat them. So it's not like you've done something amazing.
So Lee, let me ask you a question. Do you think Messi should win the Ballon d'Or?
Of course, I think Messi should win the Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
I think it's guaranteed. Yeah.
I think it's guaranteed he wins it.
He's already won. Yeah.
Has it been confirmed now?
No, it's not been confirmed, but everyone knows it.
He's winning it. You got to remember, World Cup for any player is a pinnacle of their career. They win the World Cup. I look at it. It's not just only let's say Enzo Fernandez, who was part of the team. It was Messi who was influential. It would arguably be last tournament.
Let me ask you this way.
Swan song. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Let me ask you this quickly, bro.
But Saeed, don't downplay this
trophy.
But Saeed, don't downplay the Swan song. I was not saying that as banter. It's relevant because of what the Ballon d'Or is. What the Ballon d'Or is, it being his last ever chance to win. I get that. That's a lot of pressure. Yeah. And the fact it was his last ever chance is relevant. And that's why I get it. I 100% get it. But when people have my whole point is Haaland, the fact that, City had multiple players in it, that's not good because the way that the voting is done, it's voted for by the players. So straight away, if City have 3 or 4 players in for the Ballon d'Or, well, their votes are going to be split straight away, right?
Yeah.
Then Argentina's votes are going to be split, and all the different people we've got, it was never going to be won by anyone but Messi. Like I said, in December, I'll get over it. But I think if we're doing it, if it was solely based on what someone has done last season, it's Rodri for me, hands down.
I think Rodri's got more of a claim. I think Rodri.
Yeah, I agree. A lot more of a claim than Haaland.
Hey, let me ask you this, mate. If France had won the World Cup, right, would you be saying that Mbappe should win the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, do you know what?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I really do.
Yes.
So win the Ballon d'Or and basically voting's out the window for that season.
No, you mean win the World Cup? You mean win the World Cup?
Yeah, sorry, win the World Cup and basically.
You're downplaying the World Cup. That's what you're
I'm not.
You're downplaying the World Cup.
Said, I'm not. No, Said again. No, Said. I just asked you a question. No. Said, I asked you a question. Right. The question was: so, are you saying, that if you win a World Cup and you are the best player for that team, then no other player for that season has a shout?
No, that's not what
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I
So
it's about dessert.
It sounds like
it does sound like that.
It does sound like that. Let me reiterate.
I get the arguments
Deserve
what you're saying about Messi, but it basically does sound, from what you're saying, is that with all the emotion, everything that's gone in with Messi winning the World Cup, that's enough. And that
let me respond to this as well.
Everyone else does in a full season.
The treble is unbelievable, by the way. The treble is unbelievable. It's something that only 2 teams have done. Only 2 teams have done. Man City and Man United.
In England.
Liverpool have done a fake treble. In England, yeah. I get it, but understand what Messi has done. He has won the World Cup, the last bit of his career. That is basically the missing piece as well. And he's single-handedly.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
And how many goals did
Messi final performance?
Messi wasn't some bum, like just.
And also the final. Let's be clear as well. The final, just because that was probably the final was special as well. The final was very special.
Yeah. Every single round, like he turned. And again, I don't know how many goals he scored last season, but he wasn't some bum just doing nothing. He didn't not win anything in France. So for me, it's not like we're just solely going off that. But the major factor is of the way he won the World Cup, and he was the most poignant person in the whole World Cup. Not just from Argentina, but the whole World Cup. He was that guy, him and Mbappe. And we saw it in that final. It was those 2 players. So
it was special. It's the most special final.
The whole World Cup, if you think about it, the way that Messi just put Argentina.
Yeah. But Lee, when we say fairy tale ending, it's literally not just the fairy tale ending of his career, but the fairy tale of that final was special. And don't get me wrong, listen, anyone that thinks I'm downplaying the World Cup, my first football memory, was Italian 90, Gaza crying. Trust me, I'm not downplaying the World Cup. And I'm not here to argue Haaland. I'm just saying, if it's based overall on what you do on the pitch, I would still be arguing Rodri. However, I get that this is football and emotions, and it's the World Cup, and it's around the whole world. So I get it. That's why I got my head around it in December. And in December, by the way, I didn't think we were going to do a treble.
And to add a bit more context, Argentina were one of the favorites, but they weren't the outright favorite. You also have to remember, Messi was going into the World Cup. People were saying he's finished this, that, and the other. So he's come through a bit of, let's say, adversity. And I just saw in the comments, someone said that he's got 32 GA. That's what I'm saying. People are acting like he's some bum. I don't know where they got to in the PSG for PSG in the quarterfinals or so wherever it was for in the Champions League. But they didn't just, what I'm saying is they didn't have this horrible season. They didn't have the best season. But him personally, we can't look at him and say that.
There's a couple of super chats I want to back it up with. Let me just get the super chats in.
Convenient, the ones that back it up, Said. Coincidence. What about the rest? What about the rest?
Argument. No, I'm saying what backup.
You're avoiding and making up comments again, yeah? Okay, I see you.
I'm just saying what he's trying to say there, because someone said about GA, he didn't have a bad season. There's a comment here coming up. Sanji says, if Haaland won the treble with Madrid, he would have won the Ballon d'Or. He has no PR. From next season, Mbappe, Vili, Jude will be favourite.
Can I add on to that? Can I just add on that one point? I'm not even trying to be disrespectful here, but he does play for Man City. That does play into it. It's not right, but they ain't got that sauce in Europe. It is a fact. You don't have that. And can I just say, when Henry didn't win it, well, hold on, when Arsenal didn't win it,
oh, that made you smile, didn't it, Saeed? Saeed, was that your that's how in the mud Man United are now. Like, he's smiling about that trophy. Yes, we're still bigger than them.
Let me jump on my own team.
Come on, man.
When Henry didn't win it over Nedved, it's probably because Arsenal didn't have that same swagger in Europe.
Yeah,
so I'm not sitting here saying that it's little old City.
Oh no, Real Madrid's a valid point, bro.
You're more likely to win it at Real Madrid or Barcelona, or whatever. They Ballon d'Or serious in them countries.
Not a glamorous club. So and at the time, Arsenal weren't this powerhouse in football that we probably are a little bit more so now. So it's not me saying like, oh, dumping on City. Like, I'm not even belittling you at all. I'm more just
no, I don't see it as that, bro. I see it's cute that Saeed was so happy about it.
Bro, I was coughing, man.
Of course you were. In
2018, Mbappe won the World Cup and the Uber Eats League. That was France's first ever World Cup after Zidane. He scored important goals in the final. But there was a question as well that he. But I think I don't know. Again, I get it, the name, but also there was an argument to suggest that Mbappe should have won that Ballon d'Or. Same way with Ribéry, maybe. For Daps's argument, Ribéry should have won the 2013.
There's been a lot of them, though, isn't there? Loads of them.
And Schneider as well, 2010, when he 100% robbed, mate. Treble and a World Cup final they got to.
Lewandowski, the year of the
COVID. The Lewandowski one was mad.
It happens.
But that's because if you, and that's what I started by saying, we know what the Ballon d'Or is, yeah? The Ballon d'Or is not solely based. I don't even want to downplay the Ballon d'Or by saying that, but it's not like the Football Writers Award or anything. It is a French magazine. Yeah, that's what it is. And they're going, what's the glitz and the glamour? And the glitz and the glamour is Messi winning the World Cup. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. And even more so, his last ever World Cup.
They had Benzema win it. Did they have Benzema won it last year? I mean, I know he had a good season, but was he amazing?
No, but his run again, run to the final, coming back constantly. Come on, like we have to. Like, because it was for the season before, wasn't it? So
their run in the Champions League was crazy, to be fair.
Man. Like coming back.
Both of us got it off of him.
Please check Messi's stats for last year. His GA is on par with Haaland.
Someone just sent me.
No, it's 32. It's 32. I think it's 32.
GA is not going to be on par with Haaland.
Haaland's got 32.
Maybe it's GA. It's GA goals and assists might be.
Combined.
Yeah, no, it was GA. Yeah, someone said it's 32
but you got to remember, Haaland had 56 goals. He also had 8 or 9 assists as well. So on top of that, you're into the. But I'm not arguing. I'm here to argue Rodri still to this day. But
Alvarez has got more of a chance.
Not bad. 32 goals last season, 25 assists. I think it is.
So it's not far off. So it is.
Is that internationals as well, side, or is that just club?
No, that's club and MLS and whatnot.
I just had someone send me one.
Come on, no.
Bro, take that MLS.
He got 32 goals in League. Come on, like that's good. That's good.
He got in the Liga and he got 16, Champions League 4, League Cup 10, MLS 1, 2 assists. Sorry,
no, but when he was
that was last PSG, season. No, that was from last season, not this season. Now
playing for PSG, he's got 32 GA. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's calm. Yeah. Obviously, Haaland. You know what I mean? He's got
the guy's 37 years old. What the fuck do you want him to do, man?
I hear Haaland last season. Let me see.
I saw Michael Owens get Ballon d'Or with what was it, 16 goals or whatever it was.
Yeah. I've never really understood that one. To be frank with you,
I'm sorry. Like, listen,
it's mad. It is mad when you look at when you look at the English player that's won it, and you say it's Michael Owen with that season. You're like, how of all of the players that could have picked it up, like
David Beckham should have definitely got Ballon d'Or.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Rooney. I think Rooney for Rooney, man.
Yeah, Rooney. Mate, it's the closest we've got to an English winner other than Owen was Lampard when he comes second to Ronaldinho. Has there been a closer one than that?
No, Steve McAllister. Didn't Steve McAllister get? Wasn't he third? Oh no, he might have been third. I think he was third. Steve McAllister.
I think, but for me personally, if I'm talking in my lifetime,
Rooney's been.
Sorry, not
Rooney
McAllister.
English players is Rooney for me.
Rooney could have easily won it in 2011-12. I think there was a season where he was scoring ridiculous goals. Champions League final, but Messi was there as well. He won the
Champions League, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the interesting thing with the Ballon d'Or now, with obviously Ronaldo gone. This is Messi's last time in it. Is what happens with it now, because like, will it become Mbappe? And I think Mbappe will be one of the names that every season you're going to see Mbappe there.
I think Bellingham's got a shout.
I think Haaland. I think Haaland will be there as well. And I do hear what people say. Look, if Haaland goes to Real Madrid, it's like Real Madrid's an extra tick in a box instantly. Oh, you play for Real Madrid, there's a tick. But I think probably as English, we're probably all looking at we're looking at Bellingham at the moment and going, boy, like, because I'm not going to lie, that performance the other day for England, that goal, that second goal was just him from defence to midfield to attack. He did the whole lot in one movement, literally.
I'll be honest, it might be what's his name, Dan Burns.
Or Calvin Phillips. They might have two for it next season.
Sign me up. He's from Blind. Don't forget that. He had what is that? Usman Dembele, Mbappe in his pocket.
Yeah, man.
But these PSG wingers though, like when it comes to the Champions League, these PSG wingers get wrapped up regular. Yeah. Like a PSG in the Champions League, I think we've played them, I think 6 times, and I reckon we've probably won 4 of them, drawn 1 maybe, and lost 1. Like that, I think in the Champions League they're just not the same. And the other one, Neymar's a mad one as well. What's happened with Neymar?
Oh, man,
he's never going to win it. He's never going to win it.
Nah.
Bro, he's got injured again. Man.
ACL,
Neymar's going out sad. Who reckon's going out more sad, Neymar or Hazard? Who's going out more sad?
Neymar. I think Neymar's like, because all that promise, I've seen a mad stat, right? You know, by the age of 24, Neymar had played more minutes than Paul Scholes in his entire career.
Yeah. Do you know what? Saeed, on a show once on Big Six, on Big Six one time, Grizz said something, and he got ripped to pieces for it. But it's because people didn't listen to what he said or decided to. He said the most. What's it called? Basically, where you don't hit what you expected to hit. What's the term?
Potential.
Underachieved. He said, I feel Neymar was underachieved, and everyone was going mad at him. And I get what he said, because if you look at, like, when was the World Cup when was the Olympics in England? Was it 2000?
2012,
right? Well, right.
2000?
Was it 2012? And that was and at that point, Neymar was still a young buck then, innit? Playing in the Olympics, and him and Oscar and them lot, right? And Neymar, like, we'd already heard about Neymar for probably 2-3 years at least before then, about this guy called Neymar coming up, how good he was going to be. And look, Neymar, you'll still go back to talking Suarez, Neymar, and Messi, and talk about what he did with that Barcelona. But apart from that, you look at for Brazil, he's never really.
What's their record goal scorer, though?
Yeah, but he got injured at 2 tournaments, though.
And that's fine. But I hear he's had injuries, and this is me not saying Neymar's not a good player. What I'm saying is, you look at the potential, and you can say injuries, you can say whatever, you can say he's their top goal scorer. But bro, I can tell you now, like, I watched World Cups where Romário and Brazil won them. Right, we've seen Ronaldo win World Cups. We've seen Brazil win World Cups, and with Neymar, it's like, okay, when you step away from Messi and Suarez to PSG, right, that was your time.
He made a bad football decision, though.
That was his move to, like, win the Ballon d'Or and step out of Messi's shadow.
And it just didn't happen.
He knew he was never going to win the Ballon d'Or at Barcelona with Messi still there. He had to leave.
I think the only
it was a poor decision. He made a bad career move, and he's paid the price for it big time.
But I guess if you compare with him and Hazard never won the Champions League, where Neymar did, didn't he?
I mean, technically Hazard did win the Champions League with Madrid, but he did fuck all to it. But
If you look at his average games, though, he's only playing, like, I think Lee Gunner said it a couple of months ago to be like 22 games a season. He's averaging. Neymar,
it's because it's his sister's birthday, bro.
And he always gets injured. He gets
family first in that
season, pretty much.
But you know what it is? He did it like 3 years in a row. He did it 3 years in a row where he got injured. The first 2.
It's his sister's birthday.
The first 2 were very suspect. It's around February, March time. As the Champions League started to kick in, he'd pick up an injury, and then you'd see him partying at his sister's birthday back in Brazil. and he did it 2
Family
years in a row.
first. I
Yeah.
salute it.
The problem is for
He took
Neymar,
on it
like,
after the second time,
Yeah.
and then he got injured the third time, and it was a genuine injury, and then he was out for even
I
longer.
mean, his best football was at Barcelona. Like he's had 1 or 2 good seasons at PSG, but his best football was at Barcelona, and that was a long time ago now. He's basically, I don't want to say he's done nothing in his career, but in terms of the potential, because I look at him and I think, mate, in terms of talent and ability, there's maybe none better than him, or maybe only 1 or 2. But in terms of what he's done on the football pitch, he didn't reach the potential he could have done. He still had a career that loads of players could only dream of. But in terms of the ability he had, like there was so much more he could have done, and he didn't do it through injuries and through poor career choices. Like there's no way at 31 a player of his ability should be playing in Saudi. They just shouldn't.
Do you know what would be interesting if we could turn into Marty McFly, right? go into the future and look back here, and if we look back in maybe 30 years' time, we probably have to go quite far and look at how people view Ronaldinho and how people view Neymar. Yeah, because that is the level that I would see. Ability, Neymar is Ronaldinho level. Yeah, but for me, in their prime, I'm taking Ronaldinho over Neymar every single day. Every single day. Love, Pete.
Yeah.
I
want to get this last super chat in, and I want to focus on the Arsenal Chelsea game. Ronaldo didn't win the Ballon d'Or after 2008 Ballon d'Or after Champions League because he leave Real Madrid 3 months before, and Perez used all the media to give to Modric.
There we go.
It was actually Modric that won it. Yeah, Modric won it.
That year,
Do you know what? I never deeped it. I never deeped it. It was after he left.
It was,
It was, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it just shows you maybe the shadow
clubs have, you know.
It's mad.
It's big.
Yeah,
like they can push a player for it, and like it holds big weight.
Yeah. And with Messi, we have to remember that. Look, it's a French magazine as well, right? It's his last season. It's still going down as a PSG season, so it would make sense as well. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah. I want to discuss this result, the game Chelsea versus Arsenal. Let me ask you, Lee. Do you reckon? Sorry, I'm gonna ask Charlie first. Do you reckon Arsenal fans are underestimating Chelsea? Charlie, do you reckon there's a bit of arrogance going around from Arsenal? Because I've seen it all.
Look, they're clear favourites for this game because right now and over the last 12 to 18 month period, they've been a better team than us. No denying that. But the way I'm seeing certain Arsenal fans moving, like as if we can't talk to them because we had one bad season. Like since Arteta's been there, they finished above us once and they've won 1 FA Cup, whereas we've won a Champions League, a Super Cup, a Club World Cup, reached multiple cup finals, right? And they're moving like we can't talk to them. We've had a bad season. They're favourites for this game. They've beaten us the last 3 times in a row. But I think there's like they are underestimating us. Look, it's going to be a difficult game for sure. Like I'd love to sit here and say we're going to win, but the reality is that it's a real tough ask for us. You know, they've beaten us the last 2 times at the Bridge. They've beaten us 3 games in a row now. This would be 4 on Saturday if they do it. But yeah, look, I think the way that certain Arsenal fans are talking, it's like it should be easy
Charlie,
for them. This could be a tough game.
Can I ask you just one question? And it's not even like me. What is there to rate about Chelsea?
Well, right now there's not an awful lot right now. But
so why? So going back to that original question, why would Arsenal fans respect or rate any Chelsea players or Chelsea? Why should we fear you? Why should we be bothered about you?
I'm not saying you should fear us, but like
we should technically do what Arsenal fans, not me, but what Arsenal fans are saying, and wipe the floor with you, right?
Well, I mean, according to Arsenal fans, yeah, but
no. You've just admitted that there's nothing to really worry about your team because you're not actually that great.
Right now we're not. No,
we're a very good team, so we should do that and beat you quite convincingly. No.
Well, if football's played like that, then absolutely, yeah. But we know.
You can see why Arsenal
United beat us last season. To be fair, so stranger things have happened.
You can see why Arsenal fans would legitimately go into the game thinking that they will beat you 3-4, whatever it is that people have been saying.
I could understand why they'd be confident, but I think like talks of 3s and 4-0 is well over the top.
Like, that's what I saw.
Okay, but logic says, right, you've scored half of your goals have been scored against promoted teams. So this whole fascination of you being this amazing goal-scoring team, let's put into context that you scored the most of your goals against Burnley, Luton, And
7 goals against Burnley and Luton.
Yeah, Luton, right? So let's just put that into context. If you played anybody with any substance, you struggled or you're not looking as good. We have a much better team than you. I believe we've probably got a better manager than you. That's my opinion. We've got a better defense. But not only that, your attack is horrible. Now you're going to go off one player, which is Palmer. I'm not going to give you this hype about Sterling.
Raheem Sterling.
No. I'm not going to give you the hype about Sterling because ultimately, at the start of the season, everybody was saying he was horrible. So because of 2 or 3 games, now it's too hyperbolic. So logic says your team, other than your midfield, if you play Gallagher, Caicedo, Enzo, as those 3, that puts up a fight. But we should dominate the game because your attack against our defense, I don't feel like there's any comparison. Our attack against your defense, I feel we can get at Colwill. I feel we can get at Cucurella if he plays, or if it's even James, Martinelli does him over most games he's played him anyway. So you can see why. And I'm not talking for me because I don't think it's going to be as easy. And I did this preview of that, so it's not like I'm making this up yesterday. But what I am saying is you can't sit there and say, oh, well, like Arsenal fans are going crazy. You're 11th. You had the worst season out of any top 6 team has ever had last season. So it's not you didn't have a bad season. You had a historically bad season last season. And your team isn't even that great now. And you're coming up against a team who's added someone who I believe is one of the best centre mids, DMs, or whatever in the world right now. Not the best, but one of, and he's showing that in Declan Rice and Partey, who's a very good player. And we've rested our front 3 other than Jesus. And we've got Saliba against Jackson. Why would Arsenal fans not think we should wipe the floor with you? I physically can't understand. I feel like you're actually just thinking, oh, because you're at home. And that's it. There isn't any other reason why. You can't justify why you should.
You were disrespecting Pochettino a little bit, in terms of managers wise.
I don't.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. But everybody disrespects Messi's season in League One and saying it's the shittest league in the league. But then when it comes to Pochettino, he's this amazing, fantastic, but he didn't win anything with Spurs. So which one is it? You're talking at both sides of your mouth. Is he this goated manager or not? Because if he's won in the league, any first season he didn't win as well. He only won in his second season, and he got sacked. So let's give it context. The same context that you want to give for Messi, Haaland, and all these players. Can we not do that when it comes to this manager you've got? And again, he's the same manager who I saw Lewis saying, "Oh, I'm not going Bournemouth because he's playing Chilwell left wing." Why is it that this is the same manager that everyone was cussing only a couple of weeks ago? So I'm only saying right now, where I see this team, you're 11th. You're a good team for where your process is because you're in a process. But you can't tell me one thing why any top team in Europe shouldn't come to your ground and beat you convincingly 2-0. You can't. So I'm not sitting there saying it. But if any rival, if Man City come, they're going to tell you the same thing.
Maybe they're a super team that's waiting to click. Maybe this is the game that he clicks.
But the thing is, it's all if buts and maybes, but they're not. They don't have the players to dominate games the way that like the top teams do.
You are 3 or 4 years into your process where we're 8 games in. So of course you're going to be a better team than us. Of course it's going to be better gelled. Of course it is. So like I appreciate that, but I also at the same time think like we're not as shit as people think we are. Yes, we haven't got the points. We haven't got the points on the board that we should have that the performances have suggested. But at the same time, like I think we've got dangerous players and we can cause Arsenal problems. I'm not saying that we're going to go and turn Arsenal over, but we have got players who are coming into a little bit of form. The confidence is improving. Yes, I know we've only beaten Fulham and Burnley in the last 2 games, but given where we were and how we were struggling to pick wins up, that's massive for confidence, massive for the group. And I think there's talented players in there. You look, yes, of course, Nicholas Jackson, he's raw. He's still rough around the edges. Is that a bit of a mismatch up against Saliba? Yeah, of course, absolutely. When you see Saliba, keep Haaland in check, like you think, well, Jackson's probably going to struggle to cause him issues. But at the same time, I think we can get at the fullbacks. Yes, I know Ben White's done very well. Zinchenko is a good play, inverts well, but on the ball he needs to do better. And I think defensively can be got at, whether that's Cole Palmer going up against Zinchenko, whether that's Mudryk going against him, whether it's Sterling. Whether it's Madueke if he plays, I think we can get at the fullbacks. So that the fullback areas on both teams are going to be key. How is Malo Gusto going to deal with Saka or whoever it is? How is Colwell or Cucurella going to deal with Martinelli? And then vice versa. I think the midfield is going to be a fascinating matchup, as you say. Declan Rice is a superb player, but I think with Enzo and Caicedo in there, Conor Gallagher, who's had a very good season, didn't think I'd be saying that. That I think this is more even than.
Do you know what?
This is my point. But sorry, go on, Dubs.
I think it might have even been you that brought this up yesterday, Lee. 2-3 seasons ago, this time last season, 2 or 3 seasons ago, it was the season that Chelsea got Lukaku, right? It was roundabout. It might have been kind of a bit late. No, probably pretty much about this time. Yeah, it was about this time. And Man City hadn't started the season too well. Chelsea and Liverpool had both come flying out the blocks. And I remember that week we had Chelsea first, then we had PSG in the Champions League, and then we had Liverpool, right? And I remember going on, I think it was the terrace, and them saying, how do you feel going into this game? And I said, look, right now, we've just dropped points, and can I see us dropping a lot more points this season? I can. Can I see where Chelsea and Liverpool are going to drop points this season? I can't. I'm looking at it, and I think those two are flying, and we're looking really bad. I said, but football is a mad game, right? And if City beat Chelsea now, PSG, we might rest, but then we go and beat Liverpool all of a sudden. Now, that is the first season that City went on to win the league that then became the treble, right? And that's where I'm looking at this game. Look, before the international break, we were looking at Chelsea had won 3 games on the bounce, right? But still, we were looking at their results and going, you know what, look at their fixture list going, I don't know where Chelsea are going to pick up points here. But now, after 3 games winning, I honestly think I can't see if we sat here now and did a breakdown of Arsenal and Chelsea, we did one, in fact, I struggled to see how Chelsea win this. Yeah. But there's something in my head telling me this is not as going to be as clear cut. And listen, I can't tell you how, because like Lee said, and by the way, on the Pochettino Arteta thing, I'm with Lee, bro. I personally, think Arteta's levels above Pochettino. Like me, I'm an Arteta fan. Like, levels above, bro. Levels above. I really do. But I'm here to be proven wrong. No, I really think.
I don't think his levels above. I don't think his levels above. Bro. Pochettino's still a good coach, but
he is a good coach.
Pochettino's working with what I think with Pochettino, he's understanding his team, and when he gets
you nearly said working with what he's got there, didn't you?
No,
he's got a lot
of injuries. My thing is very simple. My thing is very simple.
Yeah.
All of these things that Charlie believes that they can get at Arsenal, I feel like they're if, buts, and maybes. I feel there's clear guarantees that we'll get at your team. You got Disasi, who's playing well, but how good is he? We've got Colwell, who's playing left back, but how good is he? We saw him. When he was running back, he looked like he had a truck on his back. Do you trust that pace against Saka? Do you trust that pace against Martinelli? Do you trust if Reece James plays to come in and have a great performance? And he's not been out. He's been out for so long. All of these things, and then this is the same Enzo. He's got 2 assists in 26 games. This is the same Enzo that we can't load these. You're prophesizing things that haven't even happened. You're prophesizing things that don't show up. Arsenal have one of the best defenses away from home. We don't concede.
But you've conceded one less goal than us this season. You've let in
away from home.
There's 2 teams that are defensively good.
Away from home, yes. Again, look at the caliber of teams you've played. You've played pretty much dross. You haven't played anyone. Everyone said this is your first real test. You're going up against a very good Arsenal team. So no one's saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not. Well, listen, Arsenal fans might be. I'm not. I think it's going to be a difficult game. Last season, we won 1-0 when we absolutely battered you the whole game.
Yeah, we were horrendous last season.
Last 15 minutes, I think even Havertz should have scored a goal, actually. And Aubameyang could have scored. But this is the same team. If you remember, Aubameyang had 4 touches and he went off at half time. We battered you.
That was crazy.
We're a very good team, and I think people keep going off this logic. Oh, because we haven't played well this season, that is closer. Like Chelsea have closed the gap. You haven't. You're in 11th because you deserve to be there. And actually, no, I'll take it back. You should have beat West Ham. I'll give you that. So you should be a bit higher up. But my point is that Chelsea, you're still dross. currently you're still draw. So I think you're going to do a lot better. I think you're going to do better than Man United. But
will you be embarrassed if you don't beat them? Will you be embarrassed if you don't beat them?
Oh, no. If we get a draw, that is definitely like a loss because Chelsea aren't good. This is the same Chelsea team. Yes, granted, it was 10 men. They lost to Aston Villa. Come on, this isn't a serious club right now. Football-wise, I'm not going off one game against Fulham and Burnley, or 2 games, sorry, and you're telling me that their levels closer to Arsenal. They're not. This is the same team at the start of the season. This is the same team at the start of the season where Disasi was compared to Maguire. This is the same. These are all the same players. So now, because of 8 games, I'm hearing that this is, and again, not Charlie, but I can see why people will think this is going to be a convincing win because we just beat Man City and the way we played, we set up very differently. And now we're getting our full team back. Hopefully, we should go there.
No, I hear it. You should be favourites. You're better than us right now. Your players are in form. Your attack's more consistent and more reliable than ours at the moment. And look, but we all know that football don't work like that. If it worked like that, then we might as well not bother playing the game. Just give Arsenal 3 points. Like we look, it's going to be tough for us. It is going to be difficult for us. There's no denying it. But like I don't know, I just got a bit of a feeling, and of course, like you're always going to back your own team. But I just think we will get opportunities because we do create a lot of chances. I think you can laugh about it. It doesn't really matter, but it does tell you a little story. We're the only team that's won every game on XG this season. So it goes to show that we do create a lot of chances. I'm not saying we don't necessarily put them away, but we do create a lot. Now, of course, I know Arsenal are good defensively, particularly away from home, but we will get some opportunities. And I think it's just going to depend. Are we going to have the shooting boots on? Are we going to have our finishing boots on like we did against Burnley? Or are we going to have our finishing boots on like we did again in the games against Forest and Villa? Like I think that's going to be the key because I think, look, defensively, it's going to be tough to break you down, but I think we will get opportunities, and it's about whether we take those opportunities or not. But then it's the same with Arsenal, and I probably back Arsenal more to make the most of their chances right now.
That's with me as well.
Listen, Arsenal,
no way.
It's going to be underdogs. Chelsea the underdogs, but I think
100% underdogs. 100%.
Yeah.
Arsenal,
that's the way I see it.
That might suit us though. Like no pressure on us. Like all the pressure on Arsenal coming to Stamford Bridge. Like the tables have turned quite a lot because in the years, Chelsea and Arsenal, it was always Chelsea. It was Drogba causing carnage. It was Hazard. But now, like Arsenal fans and Lampard as well, Arsenal fans will feel confident about playing Chelsea because they are better than us right now. They've beaten us the last 3 games in a row. Like I'm not saying that the tables are turning, but right now Arsenal are on top of Chelsea in terms of how they're performing as a team and where they're at in their process under Arteta. And look, we've got a long way to go in terms of closing that gap. We are a long way off coming second or being near Arsenal's level over a course of a season. But over a course of 90 minutes, it's football. So why can't we potentially be on that level or above their level on the day? Like that's all I'm saying.
Sorry, can I just say the one game that actually Chelsea, I think the one big club that Chelsea have played this season is Liverpool, right?
Opening day, yeah.
I thought Chelsea were good. Second half in particular, I thought Chelsea needs. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I look at Arsenal's defense at the moment and just think, you know what, they're very, very good. And then I look at
the defense though, Daps. If we
but
Partey,
I hear you.
If we play Partey and Rice, I just can't see how you penetrate. I can't see how you penetrate.
I hear you. And the other thing is for me is that if I look whether do you know what's one thing that sums up where Arsenal are right now? Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know what sums up where Arsenal are right now? I don't know if you've noticed this, Lee, but it is going into the City game, which was only 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, all the talk was will Saka play, won't Saka play, will Saka play, won't Saka play. Now that talk is no longer there. Like I don't know if Saka's fit or not. That all of a sudden Arsenal by beating City without Saka,
that's big.
Yeah,
massive.
That's what I mean. That all of a sudden the belief within Arsenal is no longer if we've got Saka we could, if we have him now we don't even. But then you look at if you've got Martinelli. If Martinelli starts, off the bench, Trossard is going to have an impact. If you start Trossard, off the bench, Martinelli's going to have. And
they've got options now. They've got options.
They have.
Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, they come in and make a difference. And for me, look, again, it's not to say that Chelsea are this dross team, but there are such levels between Chelsea and you're hoping and wishing Arsenal right now. No, but I had to sit there at Chelsea Stadium, watch a 6-0 loss, and Arsene Wenger's 1,000th game. I was there, and I'll be honest, I left about the 85th minute because I was sick of it.
Sounds invincible. That
my point is that I've had to sit there and hold the licks. Now, Chelsea fans, you got to sit there and accept the fact that you aren't anywhere near Arsenal level right now. Your best hope is Cole Palmer, who, can we remember, he played well for the last 15 minutes against Arsenal, but that was against Arsenal when you was playing for Man City, which is a much better team than even Arsenal, I would say, overall. So logic says you haven't got the ability to really beat us. Now, if we turn up, it's just very simple. We win the game. I don't know if it's going to be 4-0, 3-0, 2-1, whatever, but we win the game. I don't care. I just want to go and win. And again, this whole thing about when people think we're not going to turn up, all the big games, we turn up and we do well. People keep wishing and hoping these things, but we always do it. So why would I not feel confident? I'm not saying it's going to be a 3-0. I think it's going to be a 2-1 or 2-0 because we don't really concede away from home. But I'm confident either way. And look, Charlie, you have every right to believe in your team because you're seeing confidence from your team. But I don't think Chelsea fans should be going there thinking that you should be winning the game.
Oh no, mate, I don't think any Chelsea fans think that. And if they do, then they're slightly deluded. Like, I'm under no illusions when I go to the game on Saturday. I'd be delighted to get a point. Absolutely delighted to get a point. Of course, because that's where we are right now, and that's how far we've kind of fallen as a club and how we need to rebuild ourselves and how the tables have turned a little bit. But at the same time, I still feel that we that on hope probably more than anything. But I think we do have like players that can cause problems, and I'm just kind of hoping that maybe Arsenal have a bit of an off day, because I agree, if both teams turn up and play their best football, Arsenal do win. That's the sad reality for us at this point in time.
Only currently,
but I think only currently, of course, only currently for sure. But I think we can maybe do something. Look, there's nothing to fear about us. I fully agree with that. Like, you look at Chelsea right now, and it's a team of unknowns. It's a team of youngsters that are still finding their feet. It's a manager who's still finding his best 11, trying to get everyone clicking together and that. So, of course, it's like we're not going to be the finished article. And each game that goes by, we are going to get a little bit better for sure. But this is a tough test. This will either show us how far we've come as a team, or this game will show us how much further we still have to go. It'll be one of two things. But what I would say is that if we, for whatever reason, if we can find a win in this game, then I don't changes, underestimate how massive that is. It changes a lot.
Changes all those games you've got.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a real tough run, and if we need a statement win, Arsenal would be a statement win. If you can get that statement win, like the confidence that brings into the group and the confidence it gives you going into a tough run of fixtures, that's massive.
Listen, I needed Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer brace. I'm here. I'm here for it.
We need Arsenal humbling.
And listen, Said.
Got so bad that Said needs Arsenal to be humble.
If that happens, we know the show to come to clip up Lee now. This is the show, Lee, you have said a lot.
I just think, look, logic says we're a much better team. My players now need to write to it. Listen, my players need to start cashing in the checks that I'm writing, because if I'm thinking about, I predicted us to win the league, so we need to go to these teams who are bottom feeders, because you're in 11th position. You've spent all this money. You're not bottom this feeders. Great team. You're not
bottom feeders. You're not
bottom feeders.
Chelsea. And again, my other point, people in the comments are saying, "Oh, well, like, what did you say about against Spurs?" It's a total different game. Spurs were unbeaten. They had won all these, and they were playing good football against top teams. They had beaten all these other teams. Chelsea haven't played anybody. You've played shit teams and you've beaten them. Congratulations, well done. It's the same thing. Man United are crap, but they should beat Sheffield United. I'll be shocked if they don't beat Man United.
If we don't, then it's finished. I'm finished. I want to touch on City before we wrap up. I want to touch on City. Big up to Nedu, paying my rent. Big up the panel. Big up the chat. Much love, guys. Still over 800 in here, and we've not even got 400 likes, guys.
My headphones are going to go any second. By the way, literally any second. They keep beeping at me.
Quickly wrap up at Man City. Big game, tough game. Man City.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying, bro. What are you saying?
Brighton, isn't it?
Well, Brighton at home, always a tough game. Last season, we won 3-1, but a tough game. I would expect to see, Rodri will be back. I want to see Grealish back. And it's one of them games where, yes, it's a tough game, but for me, it's a game that if with the treble winning champions, we have to go into this and we have to look, there's no home game that I'm looking at going, oh, I'd take a draw. Like, it's 3 points.
Yeah.
Is it a tough 3 points? Yeah, but then the week after, Old Trafford, Saeed, look how bad you lot are, yeah? I'm still looking at Old Trafford going, we need to go and get 3 points. But there's tough games in football. Look, my last game was a humbler, yeah? So right now, I need to get them wins back so that I can come on here and talk a bit more confidently. But yeah, look, Brighton, I expect it to be a tough game, but I think Haaland's going to step up this game. Rodri back, Grealish back. I think City will be looking to go on and put in a bit of a performance, to be honest, as a bit of a message and reminder to everyone.
At the Etihad as well, I'd fancy him.
Yeah. You go.
Yeah.
Like, record at home.
I think for me, it's 3 p.m., isn't it? 3 p.m. Saturday. It's going to be one of them games where I'm looking at it now. There's a couple of 3 p.m. kickoffs. I think this could be another one where I'm like, not sure. If Brighton get the first goal, then it could be a sticky one. But if City score first, I expect them to absolutely blitz Brighton, and I mean blitz Brighton.
But we know Brighton let a lot of goals in as well.
We will see. We will see. Listen, I'm not giving no predictions because when I start talking too loud, things happen. Anyway. So karma.
Yeah, and like I said, for us, we should be beating Sheffield United. If we don't, then I can't lie. The season's finished, man. When I tell you, if we lose to Sheffield United, season finito, mate.
Mate, you're finished anyway, bro. You're going to next thing you have Dave Brailsford building a cycling track round on Trafford, mate. So don't worry about it.
Listen, Todd United,
bro. You're muted.
Listen, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Chelsea gonna have a better season than Man United, though, for sure. They will.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair. That's not a wild shout.
Yeah, no, it's right. I think they're on the way up.
Yeah. So everything you said about Chelsea is crazy. But listen, people. It's been a good show, man. I don't know how many likes we're on here, but I generally think it's not enough because we've been live for an hour and a bit here, and we're on 370 likes. That's poor, man. We've had actually 900 in here. How is that even possible, guys? Like, what are people doing? It's poor, man. Come on, guys. Like the video. It's free. It helps the channel out. You don't have to send a super chat. You can just like the video, and that is free. So please hit the like button. Daps, big up to you for coming on, man.
No, love as always. And I'll see you next week. Never a foul. We're having a rest tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. tomorrow. So catch us there. And we've got an upload tomorrow morning. So yeah, never a foul.
There you go. Make sure you check out Never a Foul. Good and Lee, big up to you for coming on.
Yeah, listen, man. Always a pleasure. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm not in the mud next week. So it is what it is, man.
I'd bring those clips next week if Arsenal lose. Bring them clips.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I will make sure I do.
Daps knows, man. Daps knows, bro. If we lose, date night is happening next week, bro.
No, it's too early. Listen, 6 p.m. and no date starting at 6 p.m. on a Thursday.
I ain't lie to you, bro. My date night can start whenever it is.
There you go, people. Also check out Blue Brothers. I'll be on there tomorrow, so make sure you check it out.
I'll be there 5 p.m.
Yeah, 5 p.m. people. Make sure you check out that. I'll be live tomorrow. At 7 p.m. for a debate show, United debate show, not a Premier League debate show, but a United one as well. So yeah, man, big up to everybody who's been here. Big up to Errol, by the way, it was his birthday today. That's why.
Happy birthday, Errol.
Happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday, Errol, man. You get me? And big up to James Redmond, Pete as well, who was here before. Big up to everyone, man. We'll be back next week for the Premier League debate show. It could be a sticky one, because it's the Champions League, and whoever loses that is looking a bit mad. So check out that one, people. So we're out. Take care. Bye-bye.